What's up, everybody? We are back with another edition of the Ad Podcast, broadcasting to you live from TechCon SoCal. And we have Alex from Corral Data. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Corral Data.
Let's go,
yeah.
Corral Data. Alex, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So we're here at TechCon. This is my first venture event of 2025. What is your general take on 2025? Is it going to be a better year for startups to get funding, Series A? What are your thoughts?
I think I'm generally optimistic about where this year is going to be. I think a lot of money was on the sidelines. So I do see, at least from my inbox, that the VC started strong. So
you guys getting a lot of inbound?
Yeah, but I think that's sort of just people coming out of the holidays, out of hibernation. So I don't know if that's indicative of anything.
Look, you're not the first one that's mentioned that. I've talked to a few founders that says it feels like the floodgates are opening to some degree. So that's got me pretty optimistic. But all right, so let's hop into your background. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then and about your company and what you guys do.
Yeah, so my background is 15 years ago, I started a digital agency, sold it to a large global consulting firm that sold it to Blackstone, and 3 years ago started working on Corral Data to help organizations synthesize and act on their data, and specifically for business users. So we specifically work with large organizations and mid-sized organizations to help their business users connect all of their platforms, and then they can have all the reporting that they could possibly want. They can talk to their data and act on their data right within our platform.
Awesome. Is it more of a SaaS model?
Yeah, it's a SaaS model. Most of our clients have no upfront fees. They just literally connect like Adobe Analytics or NetSuite or QuickBooks or whatever it is. They have all the reporting they could possibly imagine. They never have to write a SQL query, deal with data engineering or anything, and they have all the reporting. And also very similar to like a ChatGPT model of talking to their data, they could also then talk to it, but it's also accurate and secure.
Interesting. And no upfront fees for that?
No upfront fees.
Wow. So is the model basically the value exchange? So you are giving them a way to synthesize their data, to ask questions about it, to have actionable insights, and the value exchange for you is, of course, that data and then the cumulative data of the network, I would suppose.
Yeah, so there's a few things. One is some clients are on a monthly fee, right? So, but that level of investment that they would have needed to make by hiring data engineers, data scientists, or just really building out an entire what used to be called a modern data stack, just isn't necessary anymore with a platform like ours. So that's one thing. And then the second thing on that is just the value to the insight, so they can make smart decisions really quickly, is just going from what used to take months, if not years, to build out. They can literally be driving within a matter of minutes if it's a small organization where we're not syncing a lot of data, or a few days if it's a large organization.
Wow, that's cool. So give me an example of an insight that a customer had. They came in, they synced their data, and they started having actionable insights. Give me some of your top stories of a client that just learned something amazing about their business that they were able to act on.
I think the very common use case that it's incredibly hard to do is just asking a simple question, like we're talking about venture. LTV to CAC. The most common thing most common question that VCs are asking, they're trying to understand LTV to CAC or payback. And LTV to CAC is incredibly hard to answer. You have to understand sort of like what is the forecasted value that this customer might have. Maybe they don't have enough data, so being able to figure that out, but also being able to tie back the value to whether it's a startup or a larger brand, being able to tie that customer to the original touch point where they acquire them. And so being able to answer, show me LTV to CAC by channel, show me LTV to CAC by first product purchase. Any question you could possibly have that requires tying in a ton of different data, you're able to do. Or if we work with a lot of healthcare and healthcare financial services, so a lot of industries where they're highly regulated, right? Mm-hmm. and where you're dealing with HIPAA compliant data too, how do you also join data from medical records that might have sort of medical records all the way down to like the initial source where you acquired that patient, right? So any of that is incredibly challenging, would have been very challenging to do in the past, and that's what that's the problems that we're solving today and what we're building into.
Very cool. So we've talked a lot about customer acquisition, lifetime value. We've talked about the Adobe marketing stack. Would you consider many of the use cases in kind of measuring advertising spend, marketing initiatives? Would you guys consider yourselves part of the MarTech ad tech stack, or a little bit more of an enterprise data solution? What would you say is your focus, like from unlocking insights for your clients right away?
So we usually start off either in marketing, sales, finance, or operations. We typically work sort of with parts of the organization that love data and have a ton of data, but they don't actually know how to unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're not data scientists.
They're not data scientists. They don't know how to write a SQL query. So those are the parts of organizations. Anybody that is very data driven but can't write a SQL query, those are the parts of the organization. So a lot of times it does start in marketing. But I would say most of our clients, a year after sort of adoption, they are sort of expanded to other parts of the organization. HR is a fast growing user of Corral data as well. So we have HR teams that are doing performance evaluations, performance reviews, being able to just understand how to the organizational behavior of their work much better too.
You just unlocked another hot topic right now, which is data collection around remote working. So many organizations that have swallowed the fully autonomous office and the work from home models are trying to understand productivity, if their employees are quiet quitting, if their employees are, collecting 3 different paychecks. Are you thinking about that problem and helping clients address that issue in any way?
I am trying not to think about that problem, and I'll tell you why. I'm actually on a AI ethics panel later today, and what we've been noticing are customers asking questions around productivity, around sort of like employee performance, and I think the challenge there is AI models are as good as the data that's in them, and sometimes that human nuance is missing, right? And I think one of the things that we're tackling is, do we allow those types of questions on our platform? Because again, we don't want people making a decision without nuance that their manager might have, right? And so I think this is a thorny topic that, yes, it's one of those that does keep me up a little bit. Like, should we be providing answers for things that are just based on how often somebody's logged in and Slack is on, right? Maybe maybe there is a reason that they have their Slack off. Maybe that actually makes them more productive, right? So I think I want to be very careful about how we answer questions that might lead to negative outcomes for employees, whether it's, Meta announcing 5% layoffs of their lowest sort of like performing employees, right?
Yeah, how do you measure that?
Yeah, and I think nuance is important here.
Yeah, no, great segue into your panel today. So anything you want to tease besides what we've already talked about on what you plan to address and share with the audience today?
I think sort of this idea of right now we are able to answer a lot of questions, but we're missing nuance. I think there is somebody, whether it's us or somebody else, is going to take the leap of faith of allowing allowing platforms built on large language models to make some of those decisions for them. And one of the things is, well, when should the human be in the loop, right? And I think we are getting, with sort of the agentic model in general, we're just sort of saying like, oh, we just need, these models are getting good enough, the agents are getting good enough, and we have less humans in the loop. So this is one of the things that we'll be talking about, is sometimes it does make sense, right? Like even as a founder of an AI company, I think it's still important to not lose your humanity in all of this.
Yeah, no, that's a great point for sure. All right, well, we've come up on the 10-minute mark. I don't want to keep you for too long. Would you like to point the audience where they might be able to find you, get in touch, learn more about your offering?
Yeah, corraldata.com. We have free trial, free tier. Just try it.
Love it. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.